NBA player props on PrizePicks for Thursday, March 9th. Before I get started, there's a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks, or you guys can use promo code TUFF to sign up. They will match 100% of your first deposit. There's a Discord link in the description where the main server is completely free. We do also have that Patreon link in the description where I do post all the plays that I'm making on PrizePicks for each given sport that I do play. I do also need to mention that I'm not a gambling expert and this is not financial advice. It's simply just the plays I'm personally looking at making, hopefully giving you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player prop decisions here. But yeah, let's get into it. Thursday, March 9th, we have a decent size slate today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 6 games on the slate today, so actually smaller than I thought. But nonetheless, I think there is some value currently on the board. Obviously, there is going to be some injuries to keep an eye on so far, like throughout the day. No John Morant, obviously Steven Adams out. We're looking at all these injuries for the Pistons. Clarkson, Kessler, and Sexton all for Utah is going to be very, very interesting as well. Kevin Porter Jr. is out as well. So, again, overall, quite a bit of injuries to take a look at throughout the day. But I'm looking at 2 plays here that I do like on this slate. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. So the first one I'm targeting is going to be Julius Randle over 40.5 PRA. Now, anytime you see like a PRA over 40, there's obviously your initial thought is that seems a little high. He's hit in 2 of his last 5 games here, but let's get into this play. So this matchup, Knicks versus Kings, should be a very fast-paced matchup. Obviously, the Sacramento plays at extremely fast-paced, and most of the games that Sacramento plays are high-scoring games. 2.5 point spread, so we're looking at this game to be pretty close. It seems like every time a team plays in Sacramento, it's not close. Like Sacramento blows them out. Like Sacramento's really, really good at home, but the Knicks have very elite defense. So I'm definitely hoping this game can remain close here. I think it should remain close. But Julius Randle, his PRA game log on the road, right? On the road more specifically, this has an extremely high hit rate. I mean, he has at least 40 PRA in or at least 40 PRA in 19 of his last 25 road games, and he's hit the over on this in 18 of his last 25 games on the road. Right, his PRA average on the road is absolutely insane. If we take a look at his home versus away, he averages 4.4 more points per game on the road. zero point 0.4 more rebounds. He actually averages 0.4 less assists, but 4.4 more points per game on the road. He takes slightly more field goal attempts, shoots at a much better clip, takes more 3-point attempts, and gets to the free throw line quite a bit more. So his PRA game log, I mean, he's averaging, 27.6, 37, 38.2. He's averaging around like 42 PRA on the road here, which is significantly higher than his PRA average at home. Now, taking a look at a few other things here, it's looking like Jalen Brunson is going to be questionable for this game here. He is a game-time decision, ruled questionable currently. Obviously, it's early in the morning. We do not know yet. I personally probably like this play a little bit even more if Brunson does play, because it gives Randle a point guard who can get him into his best spots on the floor. Takes a little bit of pressure off him to score. But regardless, I think this is a strong play. Taking a look here at the Sacramento Kings, over the last 7 days, they're giving up the second most points to the power forward position. Second most points to the power forward, and they are giving up the most assists to the power forward position, the fourth most 3-pointers to the power forward position, and overall to the power forward position over the last 7 days, the third most fantasy points, which just goes to the third most production. And even over the last 15, they're still up there in the top 10, sitting at around, I think, number 8. Over the last 15 games, still giving up the second most points to the power forward position. That has been kind of a weak spot for them. Keegan Murray, there's going to be really no one on this team that could guard Julius. I mean, Keegan Murray, not very good at defense. We know Sabonis is a liability defensively. I think Harrison Barnes is too small here. And then on the bench, really no one that's going to be able to guard Randle as well. Obviously, if Brunson is out, the usage for Randle is going to go up, right? He has a 31.7% usage rate with Brunson off the floor on the road. In a 275-minute sample size this season, he averages 29, 11, and 4, again, which is well over the 40.5 PRA is what his current line is currently sitting at. And some decent odds for us as well. Let's refresh this just to see if this is these lines have moved for us at all. Yeah, he's minus 125 to go over 40.5 on Caesars, DraftKings, and BetMGM. And I believe, so pretty much good odds for us across the board. This actually was at 48, 41.5 on BetRivers, SugarHouse, and Unibet. So these lines did drop to 40.5. This was at 41.5. So I mean, I think we do get some value here at 40.5 for Randle. Obviously, the usage is going to be extremely high for him in this game. So that's going to be the first play. Is going to be Randle over 40.5 PRA. The second one is going to be Draymond Green. And literally, I had this play last night, like ready to go as a Patreon play at 13.5. I forgot to post it, fell asleep, woke up, it was at 14. Because I saw the play at 13.5 and I absolutely loved it. But at 14, I'm still going to take it because I think we get push potential here for Draymond. The only risk factor before I get into the play is a potential ejection if he gets in a fight with Dillon Brooks. Like, literally, that could happen tonight. Memphis versus Golden State on national television here. We know, if you guys are familiar, what's going on. I mean, both these teams hate each other already. Like, these teams hate each other. And Dillon Brooks recently took shots at Draymond, and Draymond Green recently responded to Dillon Brooks. So there's been already significant back and forth between these two players heading into this game. So hopefully Draymond doesn't get ejected. Now, I'm just telling you guys now, there is a disclaimer to that. Like, he could literally get ejected in this game, just knowing how, highly contested this game is going to be. Obviously, both these teams, Memphis is down in the dumps recently. No Adams for a while. Morant's going to be out for a while. And then the Warriors are obviously trying to climb up in those playoff seedings. So keep that in mind. However, if he does play the full game and this game does remain competitive, I love this play here from Draymond. So look at Draymond's rebounds plus assist game log in his career, I guess, over the last season, including the playoffs. Remember, these teams met in the playoffs. So even dating back to the beginning of last season, right, where Draymond, October 2021, so dating back to last season, 19-14, he had 7, 17-13, 16-12, and then his last 3 games against Memphis, 23, 26, and 20. Both games this season against Memphis, 26 RA and 20 RA in both games versus Memphis this season. Right, so 46 rebounds plus assists in 2 games for Draymond Green already against Memphis, 13-13, 13-17 as far as his RA goes. If we take a look at his rebounds plus assist game log this season with Curry on the floor, this has a pretty high hit rate as well. I mean, we're looking at push potential here. So we can see here over the last 25 games with Curry on the floor, 8. So he's with Curry on the floor. He's hit this in 17 of his last 25 games with Curry on the floor. If we take a look here, Draymond Green, he's been starting at the center position, right? Grizzlies over the last 15 giving up the most rebounds to the center position. Even if he plays at the power forward position, Grizzlies giving up the 3rd most rebounds to the power forward position, right? This has great odds at 13.5. I mean, like I said last night, 13.5. Was going to post this on Patreon and I fell asleep, but minus 150 to go over 13.5 R plus A. I mean, at 14 we get great push potential with the hope that Draymond Green can get us one more RA in that matchup. Just take a look at his most recent game, right, against his most recent game against OKC at OKC 2 days ago. He had 12 RA, 1 rebound. Now he's getting an elite rebounding matchup here. Again, minus 150, minus 142 on Caesars and DraftKings to go over 13.5. All we need is one more at 14. We get that push potential. This season in the 2 games against Memphis, Draymond 21 potential assists at an average over 2 games, converting 10 of those. And then 17.5 rebounding chances, converting 13 of those. It's just a great spot for Draymond here. Again, only disclaimer, only risk in my opinion is a potential ejection from a fight with Dillon Brooks. But nonetheless, these are 2 plays here that I'm targeting for Thursday, March 9th. Again, let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about these 2. Drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button. As always, let's cash.